Hey, what's up guys? Working on a 2011 Volkswagen CC with a 2-liter turbo. Customer complaint is that the AC doesn't blow cold or AC blows warm. A little bit of history on the vehicle. The customer stated that he had just had the AC recharged and it was blowing cold and just stopped blowing cold. A couple things we can do, a couple different paths that we can take. We could throw some gauges on it. We could hook a scan tool up. I'm going to do both. So we can attack this in multiple directions, and I guess depending on trouble codes that we have, depending on if there's any pressure in the system, is going to dictate what path that we take. So let me get the scan tool hooked up and we'll see if there's any trouble codes in there. We'll look at some data PIDs and we'll throw some gauges on it, see where it takes us. Alright guys, so no trouble codes are stored, so I'll just take us straight to the data. We have some compressor shutoff conditions or compressor off codes that we can look at. Right now in the current condition, the compressor is active. So there is no shutoff code, the compressor is running, and it is not cold in the vehicle. Let me see if there is, we have about 6 bar of pressure in the system. And I'm looking for temperature behind the evaporator. Temp after evaporator sensor fault normal. I'm looking for an actual coolant temperature. Is that coolant? Or is it refrigerant coolant? I know sometimes they call it different names in here. It's custom. And I just missed it. Do footwell temp, center vent. Shut off condition. Coolant temp. It's gotta be, it has to be coolant temp. There's no way it's like 120 degrees in the car. It's not that warm. Temp after evaporator. After evaporator temperature. Let's see what this offers us. Alright, so temperature after the evaporator, 76 degrees. So compressor's active. So we'll just put some gauges on this and see what kind of pressure we have in the system. It could just be a low charge. He said it was just charged up, which would kind of suggest that there's a leak. So let's just see what kind of pressure we have in there. 6 bar on our sensor. See what that converts to. And pressure, I think 1 bar is about 15 psi, something like that. So 6 bar is 87 psi. So we'll throw the gauges on it and see what we have. You don't always have to go with the scan tool first. You can go straight with the gauges. I like to do it with the scan tool just because there's a ton of information that you can get without even really getting dirty. Alright, so I got the gauges hooked up. Get you a shot of that. Looking at about 54, 55 psi. It's a little bit lower than what our sensor was reading. About 55 psi. Alright, so right now, if you can see that, this is our refrigerant pressure. It's reading 3.6. So 3.6 right now with it off. My conversion table. and 3.6 is about 52 psi. We are at what looks to be now 54, 55. So our pressure sensor is correct. And this rest pressure or static pressure that's in here should match roughly around the temperature in the shop. See, right now it's probably about 70, 80 degrees in here, and we're reading about 54. So this is indicating, you know, a low charge. So since he just had it charged up, I would imagine there's dye in it. We could take a UV light and look around with dye. But I just found this tool the other day in the tool room. And it's a sniffer. It's made by Snap-on. I've never used it before, but it's an ACT 760A. So we could just use this sniffer. So it beeps, does some kind of self-check. I don't know. And it should turn on. There we go. Mute it, you can hear it. So we can literally just take this around, and any suspect areas, if this detects any refrigerant, I would imagine this beep should change. So let me get you guys set up and we'll just move this around. There is definitely a leak. This is annoying. There's definitely a leak from the 54, 55 psi that we had roughly when we started. It's about now 52. So definitely a leak. Should be around 80, 70, 80 psi temperature of the shop. We have about 52 dropped from 55. There's definitely a leak. So we'll use this sniffer tool and see if we can find a leak. If there was nothing in here, I would just pressurize it. Got a lot of crap about that, but it's alright. So we'll try the sniffer. That's why I said depending on how much pressure's in the system would dictate what path we took. 55 psi. Let's go with this cool sniffer tool. So suspect areas. Back in here, the expansion valves back there. Your fittings. The compressor seals itself. I'm just going to take this and go around all the lines. I should unmute it so we can hear it. It's actually kind of cool. Going by this pressure sensor right here. Try to put you guys in there, but try to show you where I'm at. I'm just going along all these lines, fittings. I'll have to go up against the condenser. That's a suspect area, but back in here where the expansion valve is, this tool is annoying, but down here. Any fittings on the compressor. And this grill. Let's see if I can fit through here. Any spots along these fins are suspect. This especially in the front, because it's exposed to, you know, rocks or whatever can come in through the front here. You got a change there. It's up in this corner, right there. Get you guys in there. It does look kind of oily in there. Where was I? It's hard to hold the light, the camera, and the sniffer. But it looks like we have a leak up here somewhere. Right there in this condenser. Let me see if I can set this camera up a little bit. Let's set my light up right there. Okay, turn the tool back on. Okay, so I'm just sniffing up in this corner. And I don't know, it's kind of oily in there. I don't know if you guys... kind of oily right in there. So it looks like, I'm gonna turn this off. It looks like we need a condenser. Oh, that thing's warm. Maybe just to verify. Can I put these over the slants right here? Oh, that'd be cool. Never gonna get that light in there. Just a little bit of dye. Let me change this angle. Take that light away. You can see the little green fluorescent dye. It's not a big leak. It's actually a really small leak. So the sniffer tool works. This thing needs a condenser. We could have just went with the dye and looking with some glasses, probably would have found this, but the sniffer tool was pretty cool. And it's actually verified with the UV glasses and the dye. One thing too is when you're pulling these gauges off, check your Schrader valves. These ones almost always leak after you put a fitting on it. Let me show you. These ones leak like every single time you take a fitting off of it. So just make sure, even after you're charging these up or putting anything on these service ports, just take a little pocket screwdriver and bump that thing down, put a rag over it, make sure you got safety glasses on. Just give that thing a little tap. And when you push it down, the actual pressure of the refrigerant will push it closed. Because what you're doing is when you're taking these fittings off, you're taking them off slowly and it doesn't seat all the way. So I'll literally just take a little pocket screwdriver, put it on the end of the valve with a little rag and just give it a little tap. Low side looks okay. Alright guys, so we were able to find an AC leak using this sniffer tool. Works pretty good. Using the using the yellow glasses with the UV light, so the dye actually works. Couple tricks you can do with the scan tool. There's no, I guess, right way to do this. There's so many different angles you could approach it from. So sniffer tool. I'm not trying to sell this tool, but because I don't own this tool, but I found it in the tool room and I figured why not, let's give it a shot, and it works. So AC leak, this car needs a condenser, and probably not going to be able to get the after for you guys, but we were able to identify a leak, which was the problem. So I hope you guys enjoy this video, and thanks for watching.